Hey, it's Denver Riddle here with a hands-on video to make sure that you have an optimal experience with your first time using CineDream. We've added these new plugins to Final Cut, the Base Correction and Final Grading plugin. Now, just some things for you to know when you first get started is you want to disable any color management that Final Cut is automatically applying because you may actually be losing information and actually working in a smaller color space. But with CineDream, we're using ACES color science, and we're actually working in a larger Log C color space as our intermediate color space. And you'll see the results that you get working in this color space, that it's beautiful and it grades very filmic. Now, the easiest way to disable this auto color management is to select all of your clips in the event browser, go to the Info tab, and if you don't see camera LUT here, just click the drop-down menu and choose either General or Extended, and then switch this camera LUT option to None. In my case, these were captured on the iPhone 17 and Apple Log 2, so I'll change that to none. Now, if you're working in a RAW codec, in this same tab just below this, you should see a button for Modify RAW Settings. Just click it and change the color space to either a wider color gamut and the gamut to log. Just be sure to know which log that you're using. In my case, I'm using Red Log 3G10. All right, so now we're ready to apply CineDream, so I'll go ahead and apply the base correction to a clip. And then here in the drop-down menu, I'll choose the input color profile for my camera. Now, since this was captured on the iPhone 17 and Apple Log 2, I'll select that and bam! Look how beautiful that is. I mean, it just looks absolutely incredible. Now, if you didn't capture in log because you're working with a camera that doesn't shoot in log, or you captured in Rec 709, or you downloaded a clip in Rec 709, in any case, just choose Rec 709 Gamma 2.4, all right? But this is Apple Log 2, so we'll leave it on that. Now, these numbers here are for different film emulations that are mapped to your specific camera. You can turn this on or off if you don't want to apply a film emulation and you're still using ACES color science, but I think this looks absolutely amazing having this turned on. But if it is too strong, you can adjust the strength of this by adjusting the tone or color mix. Now, for doing the point and click color grading here in the viewer, we can, of course, just use the sliders over here in the inspector, and the tools are even arranged from top to bottom in the order to use them in. But in order to grade on the image, you first need to obviously make sure that the clip is selected and that the effect is highlighted in the inspector. Now, when you click on the image, it'll allow you to then use the hotkeys to grade over top of the image. And these tools and these hotkeys are easy to learn because they're intuitive and correspond to the name of the tool. Like, for instance, E is for exposure, T is for temperature, C for contrast, and so on. So I'll press E for exposure, and now I can click and drag anywhere on the image to adjust the exposure for the image. You'll also see in this top left-hand corner which tool I have selected and a hint or a tooltip on how to make additional or more targeted adjustments. So in this case, if I hold down the Option key, I can make target adjustments to the shadows, midtones, and highlights like you see here. Now, rather than to go into all these other tools, I've sped up the corrections so you can see what we can actually do in here. And you'll see this looks absolutely amazing. Now let's take a look at another clip, one with some skin tones, so I can actually show you my preferred way of working. I'll add the base correction to this clip, choose Apple Log 2, press E for exposure, and now I want to show you the overlays. We can, of course, choose them from the menu here, but what I want to show you is that if you press Z, it'll turn it on for you. And what's really powerful is that the overlays are auto-selected based on the tool that I'm currently using, so it's context sensitive. So in the case of exposure, it auto-selects the false color. And now I'm going to adjust the exposure until the skin is in the gray, green, and pink areas. Then press the auto white balance button and press T to fine-tune the color temperature. I'm just doing this by eye. And now when I press Z, it automatically turns on the skin tone indicator where I can see where my skin tones should be. So when I hold down the Option key, that gives me the tool for tint, and I can drag up and down until the skin mostly lands on yellow. Isn't that amazing? And even when I switch to other tools and press Z for the overlay, I get different overlays depending on the tool that I'm using. For saturation, I get saturation preview. For the RGB curves, I have the range 5-way. And for the HSL vectors, the hue preview, which I affectionately call the predator mode. And another power tip, if I'm using the HSL vectors, but say I want to actually lock in the skin tone indicator rather than the HSL preview, if I click the padlock, that will lock the overlay, so regardless of which tool I switch to, it will always stay on that overlay. Now, let me give you a basic workflow for using the base correction and the final grading plugin because I think this will really help. You can think of the base correction as the place for doing the log to Rec 709 conversion, the base correction and matching multiple clips together, and the final grading as the final look where we have over 100 looks that are built in. It's also in the final grading where I can add film effects like film density, bloom, halation, and film grain. So if I was working strictly in Final Cut, I'd apply the base correction to one of my hero shots, like this one of a monster truck event, do my correction, copy it, select the other clips I want to apply the same correction to, and then paste it. Then I turn on the comparison viewer, perform shot-to-shot matching, then apply an adjustment clip where I'd apply the final grading effect. So my base correction goes on the bottom and my final grading or look on top. You can think of the final grading as sort of the filter effect on top of my base. Now from within the final grading effect, we can apply different looks. If I press T, I can use the function keys to browse real quickly through some different looks that are in here. And then I can even drag up or down anywhere on the image to adjust the overall mix. But what makes this really powerful is the ability to adjust the luma and color of the LUT independently. Now, if you have your own look LUTs that you want to import, I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Now, let's say that I want to go back and make an adjustment to one of the earlier clips because maybe it's too dark or it's too bright. Well, to do that, I need to click on that clip, click on the effect in the inspector, then click on the screen so that I can make changes. I just really want to point this out because if you want to grade in the viewer, say it isn't working, it's because you need to have the clip selected, the effect highlighted, and then click on the screen to enable the on-screen grading. All right, now let's go back and finish this look off. I'll press D for density. I'm going to hold down the Option key so I can target certain hues. And bringing this up adds that subtractive character that you get with film. I'll add some bloom. Again, just referring to the tooltip, you can see that you can adjust the reach and diffusion with modifier keys. And if I even press Z, I can actually see an overlay of the diffusion reach. Pretty neat stuff, right? Now I'll finish up by adding some halation and add some film grain. Now let's play it back. Now, if any time you feel like the performance is suffering, these effects, the bloom, the halation, and the grain, they are GPU intensive. So you can either just let it render, or you can temporarily switch these off until you go to export your project. Now, if you're wondering how this compares to the CineDream full editor, I've made a duplicate of this project so I can show you how it's different. How you'd use the full editor differently is you'd select all of your clips and double click on the effect to apply it to all of them. Now with the full editor, you won't be copying CineDream from one clip to the next or even using an adjustment clip because the full editor handles all of that. So now that it's applied to all the clips, I'll click on Open Controls on any one of them and you'll then find all the clips inside of here. Now you should already notice that we have the base correction that corresponds to the base correction effect and the final grading that corresponds to the final grading effect. We'll talk about the shot matching in just a moment. But here in the full editor, you get a more refined, optimized experience. The shortcut keys are the same. We have video scopes. There's ways that you can filter your clips. You can add shape masks and grade directly on them and more. But what makes the full editor particularly powerful is the shot matching page where you can group certain clips together and then match them in a side-by-side viewer. And then once matched, when you go to the final grading page, all the clips that are grouped together will have the same final look applied to them. So this is why this replaces the adjustment clip. Now, I did mention earlier that if you want to import and use your own creative lookup tables, the way to do that in here, as well as in the final grading effect, is you do need to launch the full editor or the CineDream app, go to the CineDream menu, down to Preferences, LUTs, then click the plus icon to import your folder of LUTs. Now, these LUTs must be intended for Rec 709 or Look LUTs, because if you try to import some conversion LUTs, they may not work as intended because we're already in a color managed pipeline. So this is really only intended for Look LUTs after the conversion has been applied. Now, once we're done in the full editor, just click the Apply button, Apply to All, and then when you toggle back to Final Cut, the grade is applied to all the clips. So you have the option of the full editor and these new native plugins based on the way you want to work. So if you want to just do quick adjustments or you feel more comfortable just staying inside Final Cut, then use the base correction and final grading effects. And if you want to settle in for a grading session, crank the Spotify and get the full robust experience with shot matching and grade management with groups, then reach for the full editor. Either way, I think that you're going to absolutely love the results that you'll be able to get with this. My only hope is that you'll let me know if this is helpful. And if you would love to share your work, we'd love to feature you. Just tag us on socials and let us know that you used CineDream. And if you have any questions, just contact our support and we'll be happy to help. Have a wonderful time using CineDream.